Thank you for watching this last segment of Connecticut's Next Big Hurricane. I'm Adam Chiara. As you can tell, we're doing a segment in a basement, and that's for a reason, because the safest place to usually be during a hurricane is in the lowest level of a house. But before we get into that, I want to talk about an emergency plan and what should be in your emergency kit. Now, all this information can be found on ready.gov/hurricanes, but let me give you a quick overview. The most important thing to do with an emergency plan is to have it prepared well before the threat of a hurricane even strikes. In your emergency plan, you should have communication, and everybody in your family should know what the strategy is. That means you should all have a meeting together and have a written down plan that everybody has that knows what to do if a hurricane or an emergency strikes. Again, these tips can be found on ready.gov/hurricanes, but let me give you one that I thought was important. Having a third-person relay point in case of an emergency. What I mean by this is, let's say we're all in Connecticut and you have an uncle or a friend, a family friend in Texas. Make that person the relay person, not someone in your family. Because during a time of an emergency or hurricane, everybody's going to be chaotic. If you have 6 individuals in your family calling each other, trying to coordinate and relay, and they're all in the emergency, it's going to be very hard to do. What you want to do is have a third person, a third party, outside of where the emergency is that can take and relay. Everybody calls that person, they can take this information, find out, make sure everyone's safe, and then call everybody back and relay what they know and if there isn't a problem. That was one quick tip. In either case, you can find more of what to do to prepare an emergency plan on ready.gov/hurricanes, but the most important part is to have communication, have everybody in the family sit down together, talk about it, and have a written plan. Let's talk a little bit about the emergency kit now. Your emergency kit should be in the place that you're all going to meet during an emergency. And for hurricanes, it's usually a basement, like I said earlier. Now, it might not always be a basement because let's say your basement floods during the times of just a regular rainstorm. Well, then you're probably not going to want to meet in that basement during a hurricane. But, for example, this basement doesn't flood during rain, so you want to go to the lowest point of your house because winds usually will damage the higher levels of a house. So this basement doesn't flood. It's probably the safest place. If not, you might have to go to the first floor, in a closet, in a bathroom. And again, where the best place to meet you can find on ready.gov/hurricanes. Wherever you're going to meet, you should have your emergency kit that you check at least once a year. Your emergency kit should have some basic elements to it. Let's start with food and water. For water, you want to have at least 1 gallon per person per day. Now, as you saw in our in one of the last segments, during the time of a hurricane, a catastrophic hurricane, level 3 or higher, it could be 2 or 3 weeks before you're able to get food and supplies. So make sure you have enough water for 1 gallon per person per day for 3 weeks. And again, if you find out a catastrophic hurricane could be coming, you might have to go out and get more water. For food, obviously non-perishable food is best. I think protein bars, cereal, things that aren't going to go bad are good to store. You also want to make sure you have a radio. And with that radio, obviously, a radio that takes batteries because you might not be able to have electricity, but you want to have a radio with batteries and plenty of spare batteries downstairs in your lowest point of meeting. You also want to have just a first aid kit, basic first aid kit. You can get one of these at CVS, grocery store, wherever, but just to make sure that you have those Band-Aids, those bandages, it's something to clear wounds, just in case. You always want to keep that in your emergency kit. Along with that, hand sanitizer to disinfect, and along with the sanitation theme, something that you might not think of that you're going to need, garbage bags. Make sure you have plenty of garbage bags because, again, you could be down here for weeks. You want to stay sanitary while you're down there. And, of course, like I was saying before, there might not be electricity, so you may not have light. So, of course, something that's basic, but you just want to make sure that you remember to have is a flashlight. Now, I have this one here. It's a flashlight that comes packaged with batteries. Again, never can have too many batteries in a time of emergency, so keep that flashlight. Something that I thought was interesting that you might not think that you need is a whistle. Now, this whistle can be used if you get, let's say, God forbid, barricaded in the lowest point and you need help and there's rescue workers out there. Maybe your voice is kind of strained. You're going to want to whistle for help. So that's something that I thought was key that most people probably don't think of. Another thing that I thought was key that most people don't think of is having your documents with you. And what I mean by documents is birth certificates, insurance plans, contact numbers, things that you're going to be able to have in case your house is, again, God forbid, destroyed. You're going to want to have this because you're going to have to start making calls right after the emergency. So keep all these important documents downstairs, copies of these documents with you as well. To back up a little bit with the non-perishable food, if you do have cans, can opener, a manual can opener, something important to keep that you might not think of. And another thing is tools. If your utilities are shut off, you might need to turn them back on or turn them off or whatever the case may be, you're going to want tools. And something else that two items I didn't think that you might think of that you will need is duct tape, because it can be used for, as you probably know, it can be used for so many different reasons, and it's just good to have some kind of tape. You don't know when you're going to have to secure or tape something up. And also a cotton shirt, or in this case a bandana. If something gets knocked over and there's a lot of dust and debris, you want to be able to breathe. You want to be able to keep this over your mouth and be able to breathe and still function. So again, those are just the basics. There's more that you might not even think of, like medications. If you take certain medications, it might be good to keep some spare with your emergency kit. Also, if you have baby or baby formulas and diapers, so it depends obviously on your circumstances. But hopefully that this video gave you a quick overview of the kinds of things and start to get you to think about, I really need to focus on preparing an emergency kit. Again, the best way to do that is to go to ready.gov/hurricanes. It'll give you a breakdown. It goes into even more detail, like if you need blankets and sweatshirts and things you probably haven't even thought about, and how to prepare and to prepare your emergency plan. I hope this was informative. Again, ready.gov/hurricanes, the best place to go. Thank you for watching Connecticut's Next Big Hurricane. For Quinnipiac University, I'm Adam Chiara.